3 weeks after a deadly mid-air collision that killed 3 people near the Frederick Municipal Airport, another tragedy, a deadly crash, this time in the Shenandoah Valley. And while that crash happened more than 100 miles away, the pain still stings just as deep. Brad Bell is live at that airport tonight with the new loss impacting this really tight-knit group. Brad?
Yeah, Allison, everybody up here seems to know everybody else. They all have a shared love of flying. You know, here at the Frederick Flight Center, where the man who perished over the weekend was an instructor, they grounded themselves for 3 days. Today, they returned to flight, back to giving lessons, but they said they did so with heavy hearts.
Frederick Tower 14 uniform, airplane down and helicopter down.
It was 3 weeks ago, that terrible radio call. Just a few hundred yards from Frederick Airport, a plane and helicopter colliding midair. 3 men killed, including flight instructor Chris Parsons. Now, tragedy strikes this flight community again.
It's truly just a shock to all of us.
Sunday, a student pilot is carried off a Shenandoah Valley mountain. He is alive, but his instructor, 50-year-old Bernard Charlemagne, is killed in the crash of their Cessna 172. Charlemagne worked for the Frederick Flight Center, where Kevin Jackson is chief instructor.
It's hard. You know, we just got to make sure we're safe in all our operations.
Chris Parsons, the helicopter instructor, was based just steps away from the Frederick Flight Center. Many here knew both men.
So it's a tight-knit pilot community, and of course these accidents affect pilots.
Steve Hedges is spokesman for the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association.
It's sort of a shocker, and I think that's how pilots feel, and they know it can happen, and that's why you're constantly thinking safety, safety, safety.
But Kevin Jackson says his thoughts remain with Bernie Charlemagne, a pilot with 30 years experience.
He was qualified in airplanes, helicopters, and gliders, and his resume is pretty full.
Well, Jackson points out that they successfully and safely train about 100 new pilots a year here. He says they are awaiting the findings of the NTSB and FAA investigations into these crashes, and he says if there's something they can learn from it to make what they do here safer, they will listen. In Frederick, Brad Bell, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Brad.